So for today's video, I did a spring makeup look. I really love the way that it turned out. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried at first just because I used this palette from Ace Beauty Grandois palette that I got in one of my boxes, my subscription boxes, and scary to use it because I actually did my foundation first in the video, which you guys will see, and then I did the eyeshadows afterwards, which I don't usually do, but I just felt like doing it for this video. And then as soon as I saw the kick up on this, while I was putting the eyeshadows on, I was like, no, it's gonna ruin my foundation, but I actually was able to wipe it away without any issues. This is a colorful look that I came up with, something that is still kind of wearable. I know it is a little bit intense because of the pink that we used, but I mean, I think it's still wearable. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. Incredibly different and unique from anything I've ever created on this channel, so I am really excited to upload this. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, starting with the Too Faced Hangover Spray to help rehydrate my skin, and then I'm moisturizing with my favorite moisturizer right now. I'm actually almost out of it, and it's making me sad thinking about having to buy another one because it's really expensive. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. You just want to really make sure that that sinks into the skin and the neck as well. And for the primer today, I'm using something for the very first time. I actually really liked it. I felt like it made my skin have a nice glow. It's the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. And it says it's made for all skin types, and it's supposed to just basically prep your skin for makeup. To get a nice full coverage foundation look, I'm using Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation in the shade 230. This just legitimately is my natural skin color, which I love. It's very easy to apply, and as you guys can see, it has a medium coverage at first, but I definitely use a little bit more on areas like my nose where I need a fuller coverage. The only thing is with this foundation, I do feel that it kind of clings to my dry areas and on my forehead wrinkles, but besides that, I'm going in with concealer now, and this is first the Laura Mercier Camouflaged Concealer in 2C. It's got a peachy tone to it, so I'm blending that in with my Real Techniques blending sponge first to cover any darkness and under eye circles. And then I'm going in with a lighter shade here. This is the Makeup Forever Self-Setting Concealer, their brand new one. I'm using the shade 21. It's a lot brighter than the Laura Mercier one that I was using, and it doesn't have a peachy tone. It's just really for brightening the under eye area, which is why I only focused it right directly under the eyes, and I just lightly blended it out with a eyeshadow blending brush, actually, just make sure it's clean. And then I highlighted down the center of my nose and my chin as well, just to bring some lightness, and I barely dusted the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder under the eyes and wherever I tend to get a little bit more oily. Moving on to the eyes here, you guys can see I'm slowly working in first the darkest shade from the palette. It's called Poppy. I would describe it like a cranberry, a very dark cranberry. So I did put foundation and concealer on my eyes. I also did a little bit of powder there, so there's already a lightness on my eyes already. So when you first lay this shade down, it's not going to be as dark as you think it's going to be. You absolutely have to layer it up. I layered it about 3 different times to get the intensity that I wanted, but I like this because I can control, you know, how deep the color is and also how far up the shade goes into my crease. So I just first plopped it right on the center of my lid basically, and then slowly worked it inwards, outwards, upwards. I'm using the same brush all throughout. I'm just basically working with it till it is, you know, as saturated as I'd like it to be. And then once I feel like I got it good, I got the shape down and everything, then I'm using a clean blending brush here to lightly feather out the edges. picking up the shade Rose with a flat shader brush. This is the Luxy 211, and I'm patting that right onto the lid from inner to outer corner, but I'm not applying this into the crease. I'm actually going to go back through with our first blending brush, which was the Sigma Tapered Blending E35, to really work that up into the crease to help blend with the first shade that we laid down. And by the way, this brush I'm using here to clean up the edges and really smoke things out is the Luxy 229 Tapered Blending. Back into Poppy now with a Laura Mercier. It's kind of like a pencil brush. I'm packing this on right in the outer corner and slowly working it inwards on my lash line towards the center of the lid. Once I feel like I got it down, I then blended it inwards again with the Sigma E35. And this just really helps to add more dimension to the lid. And as our highlight, I'm using Catrice Cosmetics 3D Glow Highlighter in Icy Glaze. This is so beautiful because it has a blue undertone to it. I popped that on with my ring finger, and then I used my middle finger to blend it out. When working with shimmering shades on the lid, I usually like to use my finger because I feel like I get the most possible pigmentation out of the shade when I do that, and I absolutely wanted the center of my lid to be the focal point of the eye look. Make sure you don't blend this too far up into the crease, and also make sure you don't blend it too far back into that darker shade that we laid down for dimension. So then I used this mascara here that I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like. It's the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara. It made my lashes look really beautiful and long, which is great, but the entire time after I applied it, it just kept smearing all over my eyeshadows. It just wouldn't dry, and it was really frustrating because I kept having to fix it, even though I spent so long blending out my eyeshadows, and I'm like, no, you keep smearing. But anyway, I did apply false lashes. These are from the Kiss Lash Couture collection in garters. For the lower lash line, I'm basically doing the same thing. So you want to slowly work Poppy in layers under the lash line and make sure you connect it back up into the blend on the top lid. I almost said lash line. I did use my Laura Mercier little pencil brush there to do that, and I blended out the edges again with the same Luxy 229, and the Luxy 211 I used to apply Rose in the very inner corner, and I just kept messing with it, putting more of each on the lower lash line till it was as vibrant as I wanted it to be. Just keep in mind, you definitely want it to be blended out. You don't want it to look like a straight up line on your lower lash line, which is how I used to do my makeup. Catrice Icy Glaze Highlighter, again in the inner corner of the eyes, but it's gonna look a lot brighter because it's not on top of the pink. Then on the waterline, I used actually a lip liner. This is really a great lip liner. I've actually used a lot of them. I'm obsessed. These are the Kokie Cosmetics. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Kokie? I think it's Kokie. Kookie? I don't know. This is in 523 Pink Mauve. Works amazing on the lower lash line. I legitimately wore this all day, and it was just as vibrant and pink as it was when I had did this tutorial. I was really impressed, and I have been wearing them as lip liners. There's a lot of great colors in the collection. Anyway, I also used the same mascara on my lower lash line, but I barely used any of it because I didn't want it to smear all over the place like it did on my top lid. So that's it for the eyes, guys. Moving on to contouring, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Mocha. I work this very lightly right under my cheekbone to help define that a bit more. I didn't want it to be like too dramatic because really the eyes are the main part of this look, but I definitely wanted there to be some sort of dimension there so it's not all lost with the foundation, you know. I also did my jawline as well, the tip of my nose and the sides of my nose, but to blend out the sides of my nose, I used a clean blending brush. I believe this is from Real Techniques, to just really buff it out. And to make sure that there's no harsh lines, I then went over with my Real Techniques blending sponge and kind of patted it out. Pop Beauty has a really great contour palette. It's called Contour 101. There's this shade in there that's really similar to the Hoola bronzer that I use. It's called Blush, actually. And I just used quite a bit of that on my cheekbones, working it back towards my hairline with my favorite IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Wand Ball Powder Brush number 8. Again, kind of like the eyeshadows, just work it on in layers. Go really lightly at first, and if you feel like you need more depth and darkness on the outer corners of your face, just like apply another layer. Then for blush, I use my favorite, guys, these are so good, from Buxom, the Wonderlust Primer Infused Blush. This one's in Mykonos. I wanted it to match my waterline really bright pink, and this was just perfect. This was I couldn't have chosen a better blush shade. I feel like this really brought the whole look together. Again, I'm applying it very lightly at first and building on it if I feel like I need more. So when I apply blush, I actually apply it to the very top of my cheekbones, kind of closer to the under part of my eyes, because I feel like it helps to lift the face. And I also use a little bit on my nose too. I'm going back in with the Catrice 3D Glow Highlighter in Icy Glaze, same one we used on the eyes, trying to find, where the light's hitting my face, tilting my head up towards the light, and putting the highlighter down right there where I naturally have that highlight. I used the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35, and yeah, I put some on my Cupid's bow too, a little bit down my nose and the tip of my nose, and also right above my eyebrows on my forehead. I realized I said it wrong. I used Rosy Pink in the waterline, and this is Pink Mauve that I'm using from Kokie Cosmetics, the lip liner, to define my lips. I filled them completely all in, top and bottom, and I went over with the Lip Shot Gloss Impact from Sleek Makeup. This is in the shade Brutal Honesty. It's so beautiful and glossy and really comfortable to wear. And finally, the Lancome Fix It Spray. This is the Fix It and Forget It. One little tip I have, guys, is to actually spray your setting spray on your chest and your shoulders too, and immediately apply the same highlighter you used on your face to your body, so that way it all matches and it gives your skin like a nice glow. As for my hair, I just put it back into a low ponytail. I sprayed my bangs back so that way they weren't falling on my face. I really wanted you to be able to see the makeup, so I just went for like a sleek look. And that is it for the whole entire spring makeup look. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.